As we approach 7 o'clock, the other big networks in town are going to switch over to pre-recorded news. 2 hours old out of New York City doesn't make sense to us. So instead of that, we just keep going till 10 o'clock.
Fox 31 Morning News at 7 starts now.
Live from Denver, this is Fox 31 News at 7. We're on it.
When the son is Taliban is terrorist.
As Americans and allies race to escape the chaos in Afghanistan, supporters here in Colorado are trying to do their part.
I-70 just reopening a couple of hours ago. This morning, pinpoint meteorologist Cassidy, she's got updates on the rainfall and potential damage there.
Millions in student loan debt now being forgiven, who the lucky borrowers are.
And we're answering your back-to-school COVID questions. The advice from the experts this morning. We go right to the source to help you kind of chart that path, if you will, because a lot of us parents have a lot of questions about that. Good to have you. Happy Friday morning. I'm Kirk Yuhnke.
I'm Ashley Ryan. Let's get over to Kylie. We might still be finalizing our weekend plans after we had all that hail, even tornadoes in the area.
I know. Hopefully your weekend plans don't include cleaning up after those storms yesterday, because they were definitely some strong ones. Thankfully, you've got a nice quiet day and a beautiful start to live look outside from our Bearse Janker camera. It is a little on the chilly side. It feels like those seasons are starting to transition just a bit. Mid-50s right now, and you can see we had a couple of showers that were sneaking on out of the state. We're pushing that storm system out, so it is going to be dry today and also a little on the breezy side. 52 if you're heading outdoor in Englewood, 52 in Parker, 48 degrees in Golden this morning, and your hour-by-hour forecast brings you into the low 80s by later on this afternoon. So coming up here in just a few minutes, we're going to talk about what you can expect the rest of the weekend, including when we have a warm-up.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Kylie. Keeping an eye on the roads out there. If you've got places to go, people to see on this Friday morning. This is I-70 and Highway 58. Things are zipping along pretty
looking
well.
Good.
Yeah, looking great. No major issues as we get going on your Friday morning. But, of course, if they pop up, we'll let you know.
Inside Afghanistan, a big morning of developments, desperation building as Americans and refugees continue to try to get out of there. This is heartbreaking new video. It is all over social media. A lot of people talking about this today. It shows a baby being passed over a fence to U.S. soldiers at Kabul's airport.
New this morning, President Biden preparing to address the nation to talk about Afghanistan this morning.
And a bombshell new accusation. The White House reportedly knew in July the Afghan government could easily collapse. Fox 31's Drew Engelbart is at the live desk this morning. Drew.
Hey, good morning, Kirk and Ashley. Yeah, President Biden, the vice president, they're getting national security briefing right now as we speak. And then the president will be addressing the nation coming up at 11 o'clock local time, so about 4 hours from now. And this comes after reports surfaced that the White House knew in July that the Afghan government would easily topple, and the president is now facing international pressure. Images like this one you see right here. You hear the gunfire from the Taliban in the background. They put the administration on the hot seat. Many Americans and Afghan allies still stranded there in the country. Now, thus far, the Taliban has not interfered with the U.S. mission there at the airport, but security officials are concerned at the potential risks there on the ground.
One of the contingencies we are very focused on, laser focused on, is the potential for a terrorist attack by a group like ISIS-K, which of course is a sworn enemy of the Taliban. So we will keep working to minimize the risks and maximize the number of people on planes.
Yeah, and speaking of number of people on planes, the White House says that 3,000 people were evacuated yesterday. On Thursday, we continue to see that number go up each and every day. Of course, the Pentagon told us their goal was 5,000 to 9,000 people per day. We heard 1,100 the first day, then 1,800. And now, Kirk and Ashley, 3,000 yesterday. So good news, that number is increasing, but still ways to go until they reach that goal. And of course, when the president speaks, 11 o'clock local time, you can watch that right here on Fox 31.
All right, certainly a lot of questions for the president this morning, Drew. Thanks.
Well, and meantime, the vice president, Kamala Harris, is getting ready to head overseas. She's going to be traveling to Southeast Asia. She'll try to reassure allies, we're told, following the fall of Afghanistan. This trip includes stops in Singapore and Vietnam. This will be Harris's second major trip abroad. Back here in Colorado, I-70 through Glenwood Canyon back open this morning as of about 2 hours ago.
Just in time for the weekend, Fox 31 meteorologist Cassidy live along I-70 with the latest. Carly?
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, definitely some great news as we head into the weekend. Around 5:15 this morning, that's when I-70, the Glenwood Canyon, that's when it did open back up. And it was closed since Wednesday afternoon. It's between exit 116 to 133. Again, back open for this morning. But CDOT, of course, closely monitoring the conditions. And if the National Weather Service does issue another flash flood warning, they will go back to that safety closure. And that's what happened on Wednesday afternoon. We had some of that heavy rain, the on and off storms, leading to some of that flash flooding, and some spots over there picked up 3 inches of rain. That's a lot of rain, but the good news, of course, is back open, and the repairs in Glenwood Canyon, they have held up so far. Now, crews did clean up 3 small material slides, but they said they are really encouraged by how well the canyon, the landscape, it did do holding up. So there's the good news as we keep going forward throughout the weekend. But of course, we'll keep it out of the forecast, CDOT as well, and those road conditions to keep you updated. Now, maybe you're not headed out west. We also had some other areas in the overnight hours from yesterday's storms into early this morning that had some flash flooding, and those warnings that has since come to an end, but around the Cameron Peak burn scar, Pooter Canyon. So just keep that in mind if you are headed out and about all the way across the state for this weekend. We'll keep you up to date with the forecast and those road conditions. Live along I-70, I'm Carly Cassidy, Fox 31.
I can only imagine what a relief this is for some of those businesses. As we were just talking about, the Palisade Peach Festival is this weekend. It's actually underway right now. So if you want to go out there, I-70
you got the green light now.
Back open.
Yeah.
4 people are in custody tied to that Denver crime spree that happened on Tuesday. A 5th suspect, though, we're told, is still out there.
Take a look at this map showing the area that police say these suspects covered, seemingly committing violent crimes at random. This was Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. That includes the killing of an 18-year-old at a school. And police say at this point, they don't believe this is a bias-motivated crime, but say that is absolutely part of the investigation.
I do not believe there is a biased motivation to this this series. This is further supported by the statements made by the offenders who agreed to be interviewed last night and early this morning. At this point, no one has made mention of the victim's religion or offered any information indicating they were targeting the school or the Jewish community.
Police are still searching for this guy, Samuel Fussell. Our partners with Metro Denver Crime Stoppers have now posted a reward of up to $27,000 for information leading to his arrest. You've got that number right there on your screen. American Airlines saying it will not serve alcohol on flights until next January. That date coincides with the current expiration of the U.S. mask mandate, at least for now. The airline says it's all part of an effort to create a safe environment for their crews and customers. We've all seen video of fights unfolding on planes. That's happening more and more right now. Alcohol service was suspended in the main cabin earlier this summer.
Fox 31, once again, a proud sponsor of the St. Jude Dream Home giveaway. The $100 tickets for this year's Dream Home go on sale next Thursday, August 26th. Circle your calendar, set your alarm. If you buy that day, you're also entered in to win a $2,500 Visa gift card, courtesy of ETC Custom Construction, and several other prizes as well. So we're going to give away this year's $820,000 Dream Home on October 21st, live here on Fox 31.
So exciting and such a good mission.
Hello.
It's an awesome mission,
your
awesome
money
cause.
goes so far. Yeah.
Well, it's 7 bedrooms, massive house.
You can't win it, okay?
I know, but I can't wait to check it out.
Yeah, it'll be really cool. Hey, I want to talk a little about the storms that came through yesterday, guys. I know a lot of people were talking about this. There were kind of 2 big ones that had the biggest impact, those 2 tornado-warned storms. One was up near Broomfield and Thornton, and the other one down near Parker. So let's go ahead and start with our one to the north. This was the first one that came on through right around 2:45, so right on schedule. You can see that's when a funnel cloud was reported right about the Thornton area, and then you can see a lot of hail reports as well. Up to about 1.3 inches was one of the biggest ones that I saw reported there. Let's head down toward Parker. We also had reported a funnel cloud. There was a lot of rotation with this storm system, which is why we were on the air the entire time. Fraser had you covered. The hail size was right about 1 inch in diameter when we were looking at this area as well. So we were definitely on it and watching all of these storms as they came on through. And the National Weather Service did a great job hopping on them, warning those storms as they did become severe, and then with that rotation. Now, there is some good news about those storms that came on through. We are going to see an improvement with our smoke for today. Still a little bit of haze in the air, but then as we get into later on this evening, big improvements here. By 4 o'clock, you can see that we do have much better air, a little bit moving in for tomorrow, but otherwise it's going to be a pretty good looking weekend, much clearer than what we've been dealing with. You can kind of see it's not the greatest shot here, but temperatures right now are in the mid 50s. We haven't warmed yet. It's going to be a cooler day. We'll talk more about that in just a few.
All right, thank you, Kylie. More people are getting COVID even though they're vaccinated, the so-called breakthrough cases.
The question, could a booster have prevented some of the cases?
And just 34 people being fined nearly $1 million between them by the FAA. What the agency says it has zero tolerance for.
This is how we lead. If it's happening in the morning, it's happening here. Fox 31 Morning News, bringing you the most live, local breaking news coverage. Up to the minute information, the minute you get up. Breaking news? Watch Fox 31 Morning News. We're on it. This is how we lead. Morning to night, when it comes to local news coverage, we're honored to be recognized as the best in Colorado. Fox 31 Morning News at 6 a.m. Winner of the Regional Emmy for Best Morning Newscast. And Fox 31 News at 9, the Emmy for Best Evening Newscast. Morning to night, setting a new standard in local news. We're on it. Live from Denver. This is Fox 31 News. We're on it.
All right, so we hear a lot about these breakthrough COVID infections, people who are vaccinated who are getting COVID, and it is part of a surge now that has a lot of health workers worried.
Fox 31's Lisa D'Souza is live with the latest numbers, breaking it all down for us this morning. Lisa?
Well, Ashley and Kirk, the majority of cases are still people who are not vaccinated, but unfortunately we are seeing this increase in people fully vaccinated that are still getting sick here in Colorado. Take a look at some of the latest numbers from state health officials. You can see compared to July, we are now seeing about a 5% increase in people who, again, are fully vaccinated that are still getting the virus. Now, in the same time frame, the number of people that were fully vaccinated that also had to be hospitalized, that also increased by 4.7%. Still, you can see there more than 73% of cases are those who are not vaccinated. Now, we talked with medical experts about all of this. They say this increase in breakthrough cases was kind of expected as more people get the vaccine. They say the number of breakthrough cases, well, also goes up, especially with this highly infectious Delta variant out there.
We need the people who are unvaccinated to get their first and second doses so that we don't have a continued spread of any virus, that it doesn't continue to mutate. That's really going to be the key to this, to ending the pandemic.
Now, doctors do point out most fully vaccinated people who had to be hospitalized also had underlying health conditions. Of course, a big question here is, could a booster shot have prevented some of these cases? Of course, we don't yet have that data, but seeing this increase in people who are vaccinated getting the virus certainly concerning. For now, we're live in Denver. Lisa D'Souza, Fox 31.
All right, Lisa, obviously watching those numbers closely. We appreciate that.
Colorado Senator and former Governor John Hickenlooper says he has a breakthrough case of COVID-19. He is one of 3 senators to test positive for the virus. That was yesterday. They all 3 are vaccinated. He says he's experiencing mild symptoms, but is feeling much better and will continue to isolate, of course. In a statement, he says he's grateful for the vaccine and that the scientists behind it for helping limit his symptoms.
Let's go over to Kylie at 7:15. Obviously an active day yesterday. We had tornado warning sirens going off on our phones down in Castle Rock.
Yeah.
What a day.
Did you have the actual sirens going off down in Castle Rock?
I did not hear the sirens.
It was just on your phone?
I'm not even sure if a lot of communities don't have them anymore.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not even sure if we have them, but the phones were buzzing like crazy.
Yeah, which is it's so great that it happens like that now versus, you know, you think about 20 years ago, it was such a different situation. So it's wonderful that we have that kind of technology. Hey, I know yesterday was busy, but we also had some really gorgeous parts. Cindy shared this picture with me, gorgeous rainbow. Actually, a little bit of a double rainbow there too after the storm, and then Kirk's excited about the double rainbow. Of course he is. And then we have one more, and this is from our friend Doug, who always takes incredible pictures. And he said the sunrise this morning, he hasn't seen it this clear in a month and a half. So certainly something to look forward to there. But if you ever have a weather picture, I love to see them, love to share them. Send them my way. I'm at Kylie Bearse on Twitter and Instagram. Keep them coming. Meanwhile, live look outside this morning. Still a little bit of haze, but it's so much better than where it's been. 55 degrees right now in Denver. There is a bit of a breeze. So here's the deal. It's going to be a little bit gusty today. just behind this storm system as we continue to push it out. We're pushing it out to the north and east, almost done with that rain out over the plains. The rest of us just dealing with relatively clear conditions right now. It's going to be a pretty good looking day. Temperatures hour by hour into the 70s by 11 a.m., 80s by 2. We're going to hang out there all afternoon long. 83-year high in Denver for today. Mid to low 90s down in southeastern Colorado with 60s when we're checking out our mountains. As I mentioned, it's going to be pretty gusty at times today, coming in out of the south and west for the most part, or just straight in out of the west, anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour. So with that, we are going to see just a slightly below average day, but there is a warm up coming in my 7-day forecast. Check it out. We're going to be low 80s through Saturday. Good looking weekend ahead. A little bit warmer on Sunday in the low 90s, mid 90s through Monday and Tuesday. And then by the middle of next week, we're going to be in the upper 80s with a chance for storms. So really gorgeous weekend when it comes to getting out there and getting in a hike. I'm going hiking tomorrow. And I wanted to share with you guys, my hike of the week is one that's in Estes Park, but this is not one that you need a reservation for. You know, Rocky Mountain National Park, it can be really, really hard to get a reservation. So this is Kruger Rock Trail, and it's just outside of Estes Park, kind of as you're coming in. And I like this option because the views are incredible. It's kind of like on the opposite side of that Gem Lake Trail that's right across the way there. So you're looking at Estes Park, sweeping views of the mountains. It's absolutely gorgeous. 4 miles round trip, almost 1,000 feet in elevation gain. So you're definitely going to get a good workout. And you can bring dogs on this trail too. So I've got all the information if you want to check it out or any of the other ones on my hiking blog, approachableoutdoors.com.
Most importantly, though, you don't have to go into Rocky Mountain National Park.
Don't.
And with the reservations, that's helpful.
That's key because with the reservation system, it's really hard to get it, or you have to go before like 5, 6 a.m.
Right.
So
See, I didn't know this, and I was trying to plan something fun for this weekend. So
yeah,
good to know that it's kind of a mess when it comes to
It's just new, and so we're still figuring out. You got to plan ahead, right?
You do. I'm actually going to Rocky Mountain National Park tomorrow, but listen to what I'm doing. So you can go in before 5 a.m. So that means I'm setting my alarm for 2:30 on a Saturday.
Oh my gosh. Which is something you're used to doing, but on a Saturday.
On a Saturday.
You are committed.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
This guy sleeps until what, 10?
I wish. I'm certainly not waking up at 2:30 on a Saturday.
Yeah, on a Saturday to go hike 10 miles.
No.
Okay, just me.
Take pictures, please. Thank you, Kylie.
Question this morning, will vaccines be ready for young kids anytime soon? And how many students can one child actually infect?
A lot of good questions here for us parents. Kevin Torres has the answers to your back-to-school COVID questions. He talked to some of the experts now.
Live from Denver, this is Fox 31 News. We're on it.
Welcome back. Want to see something cool? This is cool.
Wow.
Vail Pass, snow on the ground in Vail Pass as we start this Friday morning. I know it's August 20th, but it's Colorado too, and that's 10,600 feet in elevation. So isn't that cool?
I am not used to this, but yeah.
Get ready for it, Ashley. Welcome to Colorado. That's your welcome wagon, by the way.
Snow.
No, it's up there in the mountains.
It's gorgeous, yeah.
And it's very cool. We'll start seeing that.
I can't wait to explore. Good morning. Time now, 7:22. With more students now heading back to the classroom every week, many of you at home have been really curious about how the Delta variant could impact the school year.
So we took your questions and went right to the experts to get the answers. Problem solver Kevin Torres joins us now with more on some of those responses, Kevin, because there's a lot of unknowns right now.
Oh, absolutely. And the question you folks are asking are incredibly important and focus in on things like student infection rates and the need to potentially quarantine. After all, we just saw that one school system over in Florida where more than 10,000 students and hundreds of staff members are already in quarantine 1 week into the school year due to COVID. In Denver over Facebook, Sean Clark wants to know if an asymptomatic child with the Delta variant is in class, how many students will catch the virus?
With the Alpha variant, basically one infected person could infect 2 to 3 susceptible individuals. With the Delta variant, one infected person can infect 8 to 9 susceptible individuals.
Jamie Howard asks, at what point do you say there are too many kids testing positive and shut the schools down? 2 kids, 10 kids, half the school?
Really, the school districts should have in place a contingency plan should there be an outbreak or multiple outbreaks of COVID occurring in the school setting, but they're going to have to decide what that cutoff is.
And when it comes to masks in class, Noelle is wondering how long might it take to see cases go down enough to remove masks in schools safely?
With regards to masks, right now this is a very dynamic, very fluid situation, so I can't predict when we'll be able to sort of lift these mask mandates.
In terms of when children under 12 could realistically receive the vaccine, experts tell us clinical trials are being performed right now. And by the end of this year, a vaccine could be available to kids between 5 and 11. And by the beginning of next year, potentially kids 2 to 4. So coming up at 7:45 this morning, what extra precautions parents should be taking right now at this exact moment, and what the biggest concern is among infectious diseases experts, guys.
All right, a lot of questions this morning. Thank you.
Billions of dollars in unpaid student loans being forgiven?
The Education Department now saying the forgiveness program targets more than 300,000 people with permanent disability. So overall, the government has now agreed to discharge the loans of 450,000 borrowers at a cost of more than $8 billion. Congressional Democrats are pushing to erase more than $1.5 trillion of college debt. But President Biden says those who can afford to pay should still pay.
Federal authorities are seeking more than $500,000 in new fines from 34 unruly airline passengers. It's the largest announcement of fines since the FAA started its crackdown earlier this year. 2/3 of the violations came from people refusing to wear masks. 9 of the incidents involved a physical attack over COVID restrictions. Violent passengers have forced emergency landings. Some flights had to be diverted. Half of these incidents were on flights to or from Florida. So far this year, fines for unruly behavior total more than $1 million. Expensivity coming out with its 2021 pizza index, which narrows down the average cost of pizza based on the state.
All right, as you can see here, Colorado, $8.23, some of the most expensive in the nation. It says the average cheese pizza in our state, again, $8.23.
I want a pizza for $8.23.
Is that bad?
That seems like a pretty good deal, honestly. But look at our neighbors to the west here. $7 in Utah. We're getting ripped off.
Getting ripped off. I think I'm about to lose a lot of people. I'm not a pizza person.
What?
No, I got burnt out in college. Some people, I know, some people might relate. You know what? I got to walk off.
I quit you. You want to talk about? Well, then let me do this.
Okay, this is pepperoni.
Yeah, you don't care, so I'll talk about it.
Maybe I should walk off.
Pepperoni, $11.92. And then look at Utah again, $6.49 Utah, almost half the cost.
Maybe they don't like pizza down there either, so they have to make it cheaper.
I don't know about that. I think a lot of stuff is cheaper in Utah.
Let me see where I've lived. Okay, Tennessee, $8.70.
That's not bad.
South Carolina, $9.40.
So
and
we're
then
up
Illinois,
there.
Look, at least it's not $11.61.
Yeah.
Chicago pizza, that's why.
There you go. The cost of pizza that apparently Ashley doesn't like.
I know. Listen, I'll be specific. I do like Mexican pizza. I know that's
that's good.
So, or buffalo chicken pizza,
That's
thin
really
crust.
good.
So I don't like regular marinara.
Okay.
That's my thing.
All right.
Okay. Anyway, still ahead. Suspect on the run. Police say he was involved in a deadly rampage in Denver. We're on it next.
Lifesaver Traffic is sponsored by AAA Service. Call the experts at AAA Service to solve all of your plumbing, heating, and electrical problems today. Schedule online at aaaatoday.com.
Fox 31, Colorado's breaking news leader. Live from Denver, this is Fox 31 News at 7:30. We're on it.
Hey, we made it to Friday.
Hey!
Good morning. I'm Ashley Ryan.
What was that?
Hey!
I'm Kirk Yuhnke. Hey! Apparently that's how we do it in Colorado, huh?
I don't know. That's how you do it.
That's how she did it.
I was just saying, hey, we made it to Friday, all right?
I love it. I love the casual style. Good to have you, Ashley. Making it to your second day.
I knew she'd come back.
After that, I'm not sure.
I knew she'd come back.
Third
We're
day.
pretty cool.
I don't know if you're going to want me back now.
You'll be back Monday?
Should I be back on Monday?
Oh my gosh, don't leave me alone with these two.
I can take
you guys are
I'll set up
trouble.
a poll
These are-
online to see if people want you to come back. No, I would never do that. I'm kidding.
That would be brutal.
I'm kidding.
I want
Give
you
them
to come
time.
back. I want
Okay.
you to
No, we love
Thanks,
you. It's
Drew.
great to have you,
We're so
Ashley.
excited to have you.
And gosh, what a welcome party she had yesterday afternoon.
Seriously, I mean, you're coming from Oklahoma, so you're used to busy weather days, but that was certainly a busy one out there. And live look outside from your Backus and Schenker camera this morning. Temperatures right now are in the mid-50s. Visibility is actually pretty good right now. We've got a couple of storms that are just left over in northeastern Colorado. They were strong overnight, so we did see some very gusty winds, some hail through the the overnight hours. Meanwhile, this morning, nice and quiet and a little on the cool side. 54 degrees in Denver, 50 in Golden, and 54 degrees in Morrison. Looking at your hour-by-hour forecast, low 80s by 2 p.m. today, and that's where we're going to hang out. So a below-average day. But we've got a warm-up coming by later on this weekend. We'll talk about when and just how hot in a few.
All right, thank you, Kylie. Right now, Denver police searching for a fifth suspect they believe was part of that deadly crime spree in the city on Tuesday night.
The reward for his capture has now been increased. Fox 31's Jim Hooley live this morning on Denver's west side. Jim?
Actually, good morning. That reward now up to $27,000. So that gives you a good idea just how badly Denver police want to find this fifth suspect that is still out here. We're out here on the west side here in front of the Jewish Seminary. This is where a young man lost his life on Tuesday night during that crime spree. Here's the latest on the investigation right now on this Friday morning. This morning, police are still searching for this guy. This is the one who is still out there. 19-year-old Samuel Fussell is his name. Investigators say he and the four other suspects carried out their deadly rampage again Tuesday night. They shot multiple people. They robbed multiple businesses. 18-year-old Shaul Silverberg was killed here at the Jewish seminary that he attended. At this point, as of this morning, police do not believe that the crimes were bias motivated, but they say they will continue to investigate that as a possibility.
At this point, no one has made mention of the victim's religion or offered any information indicating they were targeting the school or the Jewish community.
Now, that Tuesday night crime spree included a carjacking, a break-in, a burglary, an assault, and the shooting of another man that took place over on Denver's east side earlier. He remains in critical condition this morning, and, of course, the fatal shooting here on the west side. So, again, the new reward money, $27,000. Samuel Fussell is the 19-year-old suspect that police are looking for. If you have any information whatsoever, contact the Denver police or our partners at Metro Denver Crime Stoppers. Live on the west side this morning, I'm Jim Hooley. Fox
All right,
31.
Jim. Thank you.
Colorado looking to lead the way in combating the Delta variant surge being seen across the country right now.
State health leaders now announcing that Colorado will be the first state to allow people who've tested positive to self-report their data online. Fox 31's Drew Engelbart joining us here in the studio. Drew, what's being done?
Well, you might have got that notification on your phone, and it's so easy. We show you how to do it right here. It's just through the settings on your iPhone. This is what it looks like. It's really easy to sign up, and using that geolocation tracking on your phone, it'll let you know if they believe you may have been exposed to COVID-19 because cases and positivity rates are back up here in Colorado. In fact, the positivity rate jumped to 6.4% this week. We haven't seen it that high in quite some time. So the health department says this new feature will let more people know if they've been exposed faster, and that's the key there, because if you have a positive case, you yourself can go report it on your phone.
The increased hospitalizations that we're seeing here in Colorado and across the country are probably primarily due to increased transmissibility. There's really not a ton of data available right now to suggest whether hospitalization rates are higher among children or not.
Now, as for the big news about booster that we brought you as breaking news here on the Fox 31 Morning News earlier this week, leaders here in Colorado say if all goes well, we'll be prepared for those extra shots come September 20th. That's the date that the CDC gave when those booster shots will be available. In fact, they say they're already starting the process for immunocompromised people who are gearing up for those booster shots because, remember, Kirk and Ashley, December was kind of when the first shots were given out to elected leaders, also the elderly. So those people, they're ready for that booster shot because the CDC said 8 months from when you receive that second dose. So their time is up to get them. So by September 20th, again, the date the CDC gave us, the health department says we'll be ready to go. It's good that they're planning now because about a month from now, I think exactly a month from today, right? It's the 20th is when that'll happen. So it's good to plan now to be ready for September 20th to come around.
Well, my question is because most people I think will be looking at January, maybe December, depending on when you got your second dose. But we saw the huge difficulty in getting those appointments. Are we going to see that all over again?
You would have to imagine so, right? Because that's April, May.
Assuming everybody gets the
booster. That's when a lot of people signed up for the COVID vaccination. So that's when everybody's going to be up. So it's good to go in your calendar, find out when your second dose was, mark 8 months from that date, just to give yourself a reminder it's time to get that booster shot. But we'll be following it. Hopefully it'll be widely available. But you're right, there may be some sort of a backlog where you need to sign up for that booster shot dose.
All right, Drew. Thank you.
You got it.
We have an update now on breaking news that we brought you throughout the morning yesterday. This is new video from North Carolina. Police surrounding the home of a man accused of making a bomb threat on the U.S. Capitol. Police responded to reports of an explosive device near the Capitol in D.C. after a man inside of a truck told police he had a bomb. While nearby buildings were evacuated, that suspect reportedly live-streamed anti-government remarks for hours from his truck. calling for President Biden to step down. That video has been removed, his account deactivated. After more than a 5-hour standoff, the man eventually did surrender.
He gave up and did not resist, and our folks were able to take him into custody without incident.
Both the House and Senate are in August recess this week, meaning most lawmakers were not on Capitol Hill when they went into lockdown.
People who got the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine could soon learn whether they also need a booster shot. Federal health officials say they are waiting on data to figure out if it's necessary. The Biden administration plans to offer booster shots for people who receive Pfizer and Moderna vaccines, but because the J&J vaccine did not begin in the U.S. until about March, health officials say it's too early to know if an extra shot is needed. More than 14 million Americans got the single shot of the J&J vaccine.
A nonprofit in Grand Junction has just received a big grant to protect our waterways. Alpine Bank giving Rivers Edge West $10,000 to help them reinvest in the Colorado River. The organization's mission is to improve functions along the river while creating recreational and educational experiences on the riverfront. It says that the money will go a long way in helping fight off invasive species and protect water.
The river is the lifeblood of our community. We find ourselves really fortunate to be in the position that we can have this money, that we can invest that back into the health of our rivers, and we can continue to have a riverfront and riverside lands that are productive from a recreation and wildlife habitat standpoint.
Alpine Bank was able to make the donation from extra money from fundraisers and events that were all canceled because of COVID-19. Well, Fox 31, once again, a proud sponsor of the St. Jude Dream Home giveaway. Woo! The $100 tickets for this year's Dream Home go on sale next Thursday. That's August 26th, 6 a.m. If you buy your ticket on Thursday, you're eligible to win a $2,500 Visa gift card, all courtesy of ETC Custom Construction. Also, several other prizes. And this year's 4,300 square foot dream home, massive, built by Oakwood Homes in Commerce City. You're taking a look here. This is near the Rocky Mountain Arsenal Wildlife Refuge. 7 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, valued at $820,000. You bet this home is going to be stunning inside too. We'll give away the home live on Fox 31 right here on October 21st.
7 bedrooms.
Massive.
I'd get my own room. Everybody leave
you get
me
2 rooms.
Everybody leave me alone. I'm in Kirk room number 1.
What?
I'll be in room number 2 after 5. Just knock.
Don't you have like 3 kids? All 3 kids in one room and you get all the rooms?
Yeah, that seems fair. I do. Don't you have like 3 kids? Yes, I do have like 3 kids.
There's 5 of you, so.
That's true. You know. And 2 dogs. Hey, Kylie.
They can each have one too.
So are those the hail reports from yesterday?
Yeah, they are. And actually, funnel cloud reports as well. So I just want to kind of bring you through yesterday. I know a lot of people were texting me asking questions about these storms. We did have a tornado warned storm up near Broomfield and Thornton, and then down toward Parker as well. And Fox 31, of course, we were on air the whole time keeping you posted. And you can see that we did have lots of reports of hail. 1.3 inches, one of the bigger ones that I saw there. That was right around 2:45 yesterday. We did have reports of a funnel cloud. There was rotation in these storms. That's why you saw those tornado warnings going out. We do that or the National Weather Service does that to let you know that that storm has some dangerous potential. But thankfully, we didn't see any of that reach the ground. And it was just hail that we were dealing with. But down toward Parker, the Pinery, certainly dealing with that strong storm. Meanwhile, this morning, things are quiet. You can see a live look outside. Mid-50s right now. There's a little bit of a chill in the air, but highs today are going to be in the low 80s. We do have a warm up coming. 90s are back in a couple of days. We'll talk about when in just a few.
Thank you, Kylie. Experts tell us parents should be taking some extra precautions this school year.
Kevin Torres asking those experts their biggest concerns. He'll break it all down for you coming up next.
Live from Denver, this is Fox 31 News. We're on it.
Welcome back, 7:44. It is Friday morning. Thousands of students, of course, preparing to return to the classroom. Many of them already have here in Colorado as this new school year gets underway.
In Florida, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Tennessee, thousands and thousands of students already found themselves in quarantine after COVID outbreaks happened in their districts.
How do we make sure that doesn't happen here?
Right, that's the question.
How do we protect our kids?
We want to check in now with Kevin because we took your questions and concerns to infectious disease experts. What'd you find out?
Here's the thing. All these questions are so vitally important to parents, especially across our state, because all those states that you just mentioned are only 1 week into the school year, which makes them wonder, what if that happens here in Colorado? Over Facebook, Brooke asks, what extra precautions do you advise parents of students to take? Experts tell the problem solvers the major precaution for parents of students is they themselves need to be vaccinated. The other thing is that when everyone is out in public, including you and your kids, especially if you're heading indoors somewhere, you need to wear a mask. Basically anything that'll decrease your chances of catching COVID. After chatting with an infectious disease expert, I wonder what's their biggest concern about this school year.
My biggest concern is that individuals are not going to follow the mandates and the protective mitigation protocols that are in place, and you're going to see outbreaks of COVID in the school setting, which is going to result in everybody going back to virtual learning.
Experts say each school district should have contingency plans in place by now, should there be an outbreak or multiple outbreaks of COVID occurring in the school setting. Overall, though, doctors say prepare for another uncertain school year. And as we experienced last year, guys, we know how difficult that can be for families.
Yeah,
that was the hardest part. The quarantines. I mean, our kids homeschooled last year, but from what we saw, and one of the reasons we made that choice was because back and forth was hard for these kids.
I can imagine. And who knows what this year's going to hold.
Yeah, a lot of unanswered questions. You think it'd be chartered territory by now, but it's not. Yeah.
Knock on fake
glass.
Fake glass. Whatever they make this out of. Thank you, Kevin. Of course. 7:46 right now. Check out this crazy rain and hail we saw. This was yesterday in Arvada. We saw that down south in Douglas County as well. Many places across the metro.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the storm that came through, it definitely was pretty impactful. And I saw a lot of people tweeting out those pictures. And then I love these pictures too, guys. The after the storm, the rainbows that came on through, because these storms were so fast moving that people were literally in hail and then in blue skies within just minutes later. So gorgeous picture. This one came in from Sarah. She sent it to me on Instagram. Wildernest is where this picture was taken. Love that. That's her view, by the way. I'm so jealous, Sarah. That's gorgeous. And then we've got this one from our friend Sydney, who shared, and it's a little bit of a double rainbow too. So we always love seeing your weather pictures, your hail video. Keep them coming. I'm at Kylie Bearse on Twitter and Instagram, or you can email me kylie.bearse@kdvr.com. All right, live look outside. Backus and Schenker camera this morning. Temperatures are right around the mid-50s, so we haven't started to warm much at all. We've just kind of stayed really pretty cool throughout the morning. There's a breeze right around 10 miles per hour. We will see that breeze continue as we go throughout the day. So storms are moving on out of the state right now. We are almost completely done with that storm system, and behind it, we'll have some dry but breezy conditions for today. Looking at your hour-by-hour forecast, we're going to be in the low 80s by later on this afternoon. Temps right now, or for later today, 83 in Denver, 85 down in the Springs, with 60s throughout most of our high country. So a cooler day across the board. And as I mentioned, it's going to be a little on the breezy side, 10 to 15, even near 20 miles per hour by later on today. So a little below average in the mid 80s, and average for this time of year would be in the upper 80s. So still warm, but we aren't going to be there quite yet. Saturday, a little bit warmer, and then we are back in the 90s by Sunday and Monday. The weekend looks mostly dry, maybe an isolated storm on Saturday, and then our next real good chance for storms comes next Wednesday and Thursday.
Thank you, Kylie. 7:47 as we get things going on this Friday morning. I almost said Thursday.
No, don't take us back to Thursday.
I'm sorry. I'm not taking you back in time, I promise. Elon Musk, of course, his company Tesla, developing the first Tesla bot that will be used for dangerous, repetitive, and boring tasks, is what he said. Look at this. The robot looks like a human, stands about 5 foot 8 inches tall, about Drew Engelbart's height. It can run 5 miles per hour. He's very sensitive about his height, by the way.
Yes, he is.
It can run 5 miles per hour, which Musk says is slow enough that most people can escape it if something goes wrong.
Why do we need to escape this thing?
What do you mean if
While
something
it's doing
goes...
a dangerous task or a boring task?
He went on to say the bot will be able to do things like work with tools, carry bags, get groceries, and eventually work in factories. The tasks that people don't want to do is what they're saying.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier, maybe cleaning up some dog poop. Yeah,
Go to the
that'd be
backyard,
great.
Tesla bot, clean up. get things going.
Do the dishes, thanks.
No word on
Thanks,
how
buddy.
much it'll cost or when we'll actually see this thing in real life.
This thing.
I know, exactly. Jabra, known for their Bluetooth earbuds and earpieces. Their newest buds, though, are designed for people who are developing hearing loss. So the Jabra Enhance Plus, it's said to be a half step towards hearing aids. They go on sale at the end of this year. They said like mild hearing loss, for example. So people who maybe aren't ready for hearing aids,
yeah,
but
don't need something that intense.
Could
this
use
help.
something that would help. I
This
feel
is
like
a great idea.
Yeah, and I feel like we all know people who could use a little bit of help.
Sure.
But don't necessarily want a hearing aid.
Right.
In fact, they're not going to be sold in stores. They're going to be sold through the hearing professionals. But interesting to see this company getting into this. And they look like Bluetooth earbuds.
I was going to say they look so small, and you know, you wouldn't think anything otherwise.
They look like the little earbuds that people wear to listen to music. So kind of interesting. No word on price, but they will be available later this year, at the end of this year.
Highway hazards, what to do if your car is damaged by flying debris. The problem solvers on it.
This is Fox 31 News. We're on it.
Welcome back, 7:53. If the potholes don't get you, debris from trucks might actually get you.
Yeah, and this is something no driver wants to deal with, right? Cracked windshields, body damage, ranking as some of the most common jobs at auto repair shops, especially during this summer travel season. So, you know, we're sharing the roads with trucks that obviously often carry gravel and other debris. The problem solvers learned the cost to repair just one chip in your windshield can cost you as much as $60. That is according to costhelper.com. Mary Lou Johnson was just hoping to get to the dentist on time. That's already enough of a pain, right? Well, then the window was hit by flying debris from a truck on I-25. And unfortunately, she didn't see a license plate or company ID number, so she's paying for the repairs.
$2,500 or so, and that's not money I want to pay when I'm just going to the dental office.
Yeah. Not money anyone wants to pay. Insurance experts say your best defense against being stuck with that big car repair bill is comprehensive insurance coverage. So you might want to look this morning at what coverage you have. Most trucking companies say they're happy to pay for damage caused by flying debris, but you have to get a license plate number, also a company identification number. So how do you do that when you're flying down the interstate? Not exactly easy to do.
Not easy to do at all. One of the country's top art festivals is back in person this year, the Affordable Arts Fest, coming to the Arapahoe Community College campus Sunday, August 29th. Not this weekend, next weekend. All the art at this popular event is under $100. That's why it's called affordable. We have a pair of jump to the front of the line tickets to give away. Head over to KDVR.com to enter to win those tickets.
Trending this morning, a South African lion sanctuary.
Oh my gosh.
Giving visitors a reverse zoo experience. What is going on here? Okay, so you sit inside of a plexiglass cage in the middle of a lion sanctuary as they roam and climb around you. The cube has holes even for, you know, so you can breathe, but you're not. Obviously, these holes are not big enough for a lion's paw. So tickets, if you are interested in this sort of experience, I don't know, it's kind of like being in a cage, shark diving, right?
Yeah, you know, I mean,
$135, $200.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? I'm not getting in that thing. That is a hard no for me. Kirk, you're out. Kylie?
Oh, God, no. Oh, wait, no, yes, I'd do this.
You would do this?
Yeah, I would do this. That looks cool.
Yeah.
I thought it was a roller coaster.
Yeah, it's real cool.
No, it's a lion on top of you.
Yeah, I'd do that. That looks
possibly
fun.
breaking through plexiglass.
He's not going to break through it.
Okay.
Okay, but things happen. This is
famous last
Send me
words.
with the GoPro. I'll do it.
Okay.
All right.
Will I cry? Maybe. Probably. I'll cry on TV.
I would too.
Crazy. 7:56 on your Friday morning.
And Original Rocky is live with us at 8 o'clock.
Dante Bichette, he's here, getting us ready for the first ever FanDuel Fan Fest happening this weekend at Empower Field. We're going to tell you how you can get free tickets.